Um, Good afternoon. My report will be a little bit improvisation, not because I will be not reading and I have no presentation. I have good presentation, and I'm happy that I'm in a very good company. And the previous reports were concerned the studies in laboratory. As for me, I will try to return you back to the field because archaeology is a field work. It's not the main part of excavations is in the field, not in the storage. Alexey Kovalev is archaeologist, but not from Moscow because he is working now in Moscow, but he is Petersburg, from Petersburg. Archaeology, it's a very interesting science. You can be everywhere. As for me, I'm a system analyst. That's why I'm introducing a project, and this project is about cooperation. We have archaeologists, we have a team from Krasnoyarsk because it's a university and they teach students to apply new techniques to the studies, to the research. In the field of digital humanities, you can find the special folder in Sketchfab Digital Humanities just from the Krasnoyarsk. And we will talk, I might talk about Mongolia, and your question will be how Mongolia is linked with Europe. It is linked, I will show it later, and these excavations are started not now, they started in 2003. And Alexey Kovalev is collaborating with the Mongolian University, and they are producing very interesting studies there. And finally, he realized that a lot of studies were made by previous researchers, and they are on the paper, and it's necessary to apply new technology to fix all the data because they are not able to bring their results, their archaeological ritual complexes to Europe or to other places. All is in Mongolia. And if you want to repeat your study, you must have some tools. That's why they decided to use photogrammetry. And that was a very good project linked with dish stones. You see Alexey Kovalev explaining how they produced the excavations, and that was a project titled Virtual Exhibition, really virtual exhibition with virtual objects. We did it with a small museum in St. Petersburg, because the museum was conducting these excavations. They sent an expedition. And we tried to show how the installation was working, and they brought the virtual objects. So one wall was like slices with explanation about details of excavations, and you could get dish stones application from internet and get the real virtual objects in your mobile and see and turn and to study the object virtually. It was a very good experience, everybody liked it. And the most important thing was that these models were real models. They were done after the photos made by researcher in the field, few photos, but enough for the modeling. So we got 7 sets of photos, and in Krasnoyarsk, maybe you don't know, because the difference between Krasnoyarsk and St. Petersburg is 5 hours, not in kilometers, 5 hours. So in Krasnoyarsk they did 5 virtual objects available for visitors of the virtual exhibition. That was big success because real virtual exhibition in 2017, and the conductor of excavation, Alexey, Kovalev, decided, oh, it's a good experience. We are in need to continue because we have very good place, very interesting and very important. I needed to read this piece of my report because I'm not archaeologist. So the ritual complex of Khar Chuluut in Mongolia belongs to Qiemuerqieke cultural phenomenon. It's a 26th, 18th century BC, excavated in 2015, and the closest analogies of the engraved plaques found there, supporting the hypothesis of Western European origin of Qiemuerqieke phenomenon, are engraved anthropomorphic plaques from megalithic monument of Iberian Peninsula, as well as statues-menhirs in Sion-Aosta type, and similar anthropomorphic engravings on pebbles of slates, according to the Alexey Kovalev, were distributed in the Sayan-Altai region as a result of explanation of cultural tradition of Qiemuerqieke people. So you see, it's a very interesting problem of the relation between Iberian Peninsula and Mongolia. Who could imagine such a serious problem? And in order to give possibilities for other researchers to get results of excavations in the digital form, they decided to continue our collaboration, and they invited the people from Krasnoyarsk, conducted by Nikita Pikov, to come to Mongolia and to make measurements. And this group, they arrived to Mongolia, and they were absolutely sure they will work on open air place with their cameras. And you can understand that if you arrive for hunting, you are hunted, and you understand that instead of gun you have arch. Why? Because in this very nice place in Mongolia, I only to show where it is, this aimag, and a very interesting place, but they were not on the place with such place is really very interesting, and materials are published in the article of Alexey Kovalev. There are very many interesting pictures there. This sculpture is really very impressive, but the most impressive thing, it's a small pieces ritual on the ritual place were small pieces of slag engraved, and all these pieces were put on the museum in Mongolia. So the team arrived to work on the open place, but they had to work in the museum. Absolutely other conditions and not laboratory. They had not such tools like your box with turning plate, and if archaeologists have chance to make a photo, and every archaeologist is very happy when he sees something on the object. He sees the engraved traces of. But in general, this is a very bad photo because too much light, you see. It's not good for modeling. And when you do a model, you get something like this. It's a big problem because archaeologists suppose that model will help him to give impression of these pictures and to get a more detailized picture. And finally, he got this strange model. I was in between archaeologist and photogrammetrical team. And I had to explain them that for photogrammetry, it's necessary to have special conditions, like you heard one report before me. So we our section was titled "Where We Are," and I'm happy that it was the main topic of the session because we needed to have special instructions for archaeologists, which are the best conditions for photogrammetry, or what should they explain to the technical specialists before they ask us to do research. Because modeling is a very good tool, but requirements are also very complicated, and nobody formalized these requirements because we are working with only one vessel or one piece or 7 vessels from Cyprus from antiquity. And here you see they worked with 18 digitalized items from 79 because others were not engraved. They used only engraved piece items. And the second thing was that all these pieces are not, they have not very correct classical forms. They are not rectangular, they are not round. They are very, very specific and differs one from other completely. So that was really very big work, but not appreciated by archaeologists. So for the moment, we are in the state of it's difficult to explain. So I'm trying to find balance between two opinions. Is it useful or not? Anyway, we proposed to use the. I wanted to show in the presentation, but I decided finally that it's useless. Of course, because there are two problems: focus and lightning. I could show, if you want, I have on my mobile, on smartphone, you can change lightning in the sketch hub where all our items are presented. But you have no chance to change focus. What is the most important place on this item? Because initially you had to know what is the most important for the archaeologist, what the place on this on this item, on this artifact. So, what is the main idea of the study? So these young men were disappointed because the archaeologist was not on the place, he was on the ritual place, but not in the museum. So the initial information, the preliminary explanations, what is the most important, are also important for the photogrammetry. So my conclusions. The resultant scale is important for the dissemination. Screen size also important because when we had our first try with museum, we made this we show models just for the smartphones, for very small size of the modeling, not for the big size. And it was enough, this number of picture and very simple modeling was enough for the museum work. So that was impressive, but that was not so detailized. If you want to have very detailized model, you need to do more efforts. 3D models differs from any analog techniques because square pixels result in lots of data. I explained to my students that it's a fact. Analogous technique is more precise. And when we make measurements, we make, you know very well that photogrammetry is always millimeters. And when you make big photos, so it depends on the object. If you make photos of or photogrammetry of big objects, or you make photogrammetry of the small object, it's absolutely different things. And we had also such experience with this same team in our museum. And in the field, we had no chance to repeat the research and even photography. Photography in the field, the difference of the time depends on the time, of the season, of the sun, of many factors. So in the museum, it's easier. It's like in laboratory, but in our case, we tried to do a photogrammetry of one big object twice, and use that was fail because the big object is not good for the screen. You think that's the same small object like the others. So you are needed to show the scale, or so you needed to put, for big objects, you needed to put scale mark on the screen in order to explain that it's a big object, like it was done for the dish stones. And the aim of the modeling is the start point of digitalization. So if we do something necessary to understand where will be our result presented, if it will be presented on the small screen, on the big screen, or in internet, or in some other place, or it will be used for 3D printing. It depends, completely depends. So that was our absolutely field experience with photogrammetry, but useful for the museum work and also for the investigator and archaeologist. I was maybe very, very quickly, but I hope in time.